Placidus versus whole house. Let's trigger some people. What's the difference? Now, some of you are vehemently in one camp and some are in the other. But honestly, neither system is wrong. They're just measuring reality differently. Now, a lot of people in astrology do not realize that different house systems can completely change the way your chart looks. In whole sign astrology, your entire rising sign is going to become your first house. So if you're a Sagittarius rising, all of Sagittarius is your first house, and all of your second house is Capricorn, and all of your third is Aquarius, and so on. And every house is a clean 0 to 30 degrees, or 0 to 29. And many of you may not know that this is the oldest house system in Western astrology, and a lot of traditional astrologers prefer it because it tends to describe the overarching themes and life chapters of a person very accurately. Whole sign is amazing for timing, life direction, big archetypal patterns, transits, and understanding the story of your life. It's extremely psychologically coherent. But the downside of it is that sometimes it can feel too broad or too generalized. Another important thing to remember is that any prediction post that you see on social media for rising signs is usually whole sign astrology. So remember that. Some people will look at their whole sign chart and think, wait, this doesn't feel specific enough. And that is where the Placidus system is going to come in. Placidus divides houses based on time and space rather than equal signs. So houses become uneven sizes depending on where and when you were born. And this is why Placidus can have interceptions, giant houses, tiny houses, and planets spread differently throughout the chart. Placidus often feels much more individualized and psychologically detailed. People who prefer Placidus usually like it because it can describe internal experiences with uncanny precision, especially things like childhood conditioning, psychological complexity, internal contradictions, and how energy manifests behaviorally. But the downside is that Placidus can sometimes become so hyperspecific that it loses some of the larger archetypal clarity. And at extreme birth locations, near the poles, Placidus can get mathematically distorted. And in my opinion, the best astrologers understand both, because sometimes your whole sign chart explains your destiny, and your Placidus chart explains your nervous system. So I hope this clears that up and helps shape your understanding of these two systems. Comment down below if you have more questions about these two systems and what are some of the things that you want to know about.